How many of you ever woken up on a Monday morning and stared at ceiling and thinking, I can't do this anymore? We all been there, right? The feeling of being trapped in doing something drains your energy and also leaves you uninspired, unmotivated, and also makes you think this is what how your life is going to look like. Now imagine a very different scenario. Imagine waking up with a purpose. Imagine waking up genuinely fulfilled by the work you do every single day. Imagine really excited about doing the work. Sounds like a dream, right? What if I told you you can do it too? You can find the career you genuinely love. What if I told you I'm in a position where I'm actually loving what I'm doing every single day? You all can do it too. You have to just find the job which you actually like, find a career path which you will actually love. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt stuck doing something again and again every day? Have you ever felt like something is draining your energy but you have to do it every single day just to pay your bills? Maybe you stayed in the same position because it might be paying you well, it might be in your comfort zone, so you don't need to learn something new and explore something new and come out of your comfort zone. Or maybe you're actually thinking that's what you're supposed to do. I think most of the people are in that position at some point in their life. We all had those moments where we were thinking, is it really what we have to do in our entire life? Now imagine if your work was something you genuinely want to do. Now imagine waking up on Monday mornings feeling really happy to work, feeling really excited to work. I think this is the feeling you get only when you are loving what you are doing. Imagine your career being a source of your energy, not something which actually drains your energy. That's really possible. I want to walk through how you can find a career you genuinely love. This is what I did, and I find a career that I genuinely love and I'm really loving every day in my life now. The first step in finding a career you really love is self-discovery. I think most of the people actually don't find what they really love in their life and go through life. Everyone should actually find what they love and what makes them tick in their life. We all follow paths laid by our society, our family, our people who are living around us, social media, and actually think that's what the success is. You really don't explore yourselves to find what you really love, and you have to give time for yourself to actually find what you really love. I have made a video about how to break free from ordinary. I will add the link in the bio. Feel free to watch the video, read the book. You will really understand how society is actually planting seeds in your mind and making sure that you are actually doing what everyone are doing but not trying to find what you really love. Take out a piece of paper and write down these 3 questions and try to answer in like next 5 minutes. The first question is, what activities make you lose track of the time? And the second question is, what did you really love as a child when you're not thinking about money, responsibilities, job, or anything? And the third question is, what really makes you feel alive? Take a moment to really think about this and write down all the answers in your paper, because sometimes we often get so busy in our day-to-day lives and forgot to check in with ourselves. If you really want to find a career you genuinely love, you have to know about yourself first. Think about the first time you really realized you need a job, just not for the money, just for the sense of fulfillment. I have been there. Let me tell you, the quest to find a career that you really love can be so much overwhelming. It feels like you're walking in a fog and you don't know where the path ends, because when you're really starting in a career you are loving, it's really hard to see the end part, because you don't know you will master the skills, you don't know you will actually go where you have to go, you don't know where this is all going to lead to, because you're just starting. You feel like dumb because you don't know what you're doing and everyone around you are doing so well. So it feels so much overwhelming, but you'll go through it. Let me tell you the good news. You don't need to see the whole path or where it's actually ending. Just start the first step. Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Facebook, says, when you're starting something, when you get the idea, you won't get the whole idea, you will just get the glimpse of it. Just start it. The more you are doing, the more you will find out how to go to the end of the path. I want you to take a moment and think about what actually made you feel so excited, what actually made you lose track of time. Write down those and write below in the comments. I really want to know, and stay tuned into those things, because those are the things you will really learn. You can make a career out of it. Now that we have touched the self discovery, let's move on to something more critical than this: understanding your core values. A career that you love is just not something you really enjoy, it's also something which really aligns with what you're doing. It really aligns with your deep core values. Think of your values as a personal compass. They will guide you in decision making, they will guide you in your career choices, and they also guide you in your relationship. Think what exactly your values are. They are the principles or standards that are most important to you. For some people it can be creativity and innovation, for some people it can be freedom and community. Find what you value the most and try to align with your career. Here's the thing: when your career really aligns with the values you have in your life, your work feels like heaven. Your work doesn't feel like work, your work actually feels like extension of you. Think of values as the foundation for life well lived. Your values are non-negotiable, and the principles that defines what matters to you most. They should guide you in every single major decisions, including your career choices. Here's the critical truth: if your career is not aligned with the values you have in your life, how much successful you are, you don't feel fulfilled in your life. Let me ask you something: have you ever felt out of a place in a job? Like, no matter how much hard you are working, you don't feel the tick. I know exactly how it feels like. When I was studying BBA, I don't know what I was doing. I was just doing the thing, but I know that's not what I want to do. So how much hard I tried to study, it didn't feel the take. And also when I came to Australia, I had to do some part-time jobs when I was studying film and television. During that time, I did so many part-time jobs, but I never feel the tick. Whenever I was doing that, those all are draining my energy. So I exactly know how it feels when something is not aligning with my values. What are your values? Do you value freedom or creativity or innovation? I think it's better to find what your core values are. Now we have touched self-discovery and values. It's time to talk about the importance of exploration and experimentation. Sometimes you don't know if you're going to love something until you try to do it. I call this phase as career dating. Just like in relationship, you often have to date few different careers to actually find something that you really and genuinely love. This is where you essential to have a mindset of curiosity and openness. Maybe you have a passion for writing but you never consider it. Maybe you have a passion for graphic design or painting or any artwork but you never consider it. Maybe you love working with people, maybe you love teaching to people or becoming coach in maybe fitness or something else you really know well. Sometimes the career you are meant for is something you never ever considered. Have any of you felt guilty for wanting to change career paths? You might have invested more than 1 year in one field but feeling guilty to change the career paths just because it feels like a failure or waste of time. I want you to remind, it's okay to change the path, it's okay to pivot from your career. Life is all about growth. I know few people who were accountants for few years and they changed their career paths to photography. I know few lawyers changed their career towards yoga instructors. So these all people found that they are not doing something they love, so they started doing experiments and on different things and found what they love and they made career out of it. If you talk about me, after my 10th class I really wanted to become something related to genetical engineering or something. So I thought I will study biotechnology. So I took science, I took biology as my majors. After a few days I realized that's not something I really want to do, so I shifted to maths, physics and chemistry. But after finishing the maths, physics and chemistry, I really don't want to do what everyone do, like engineering. So I tried something called BBA and I felt like maybe that's not what I want to do. Then there are few things that happened in my life at that point of time, so I changed my direction towards graphic design art, and I found this is something called VFX. and I'm really loving. So I made few different experiments in my life to actually find what I really love. Have any of you feel stuck in your life to change career paths? You feel like you spend so many years in this career so you cannot change, or you are so scared to change. I'm here to tell you it's okay to change. It's never too late. Give permission for yourselves to explore more and experiment more. What's holding you back from exploring new things in your life? Is it fear? Is it uncertainty? Or is it being in comfort zone so you don't want to come out of the comfort zone? What is it? Whatever it is, I challenge you to come out of that comfort zone, try new things, explore new things. You never know what this is all going to lead to. Once you have started to explore different paths, I think next step is to focus on building mastery and skills. I think this step is most crucial out of all, because how much ever passionate you are, if you are really not confident and competent enough in that skill, you may not want to do it, you may not get interest, or you may lose your passion towards it. I think it's really feels dumb when you're starting something new, but you have to keep doing it. You have to keep practicing to learn more. Think about a skill you have already learned. It can be driving a car, or playing an instrument, or driving a bicycle, or anything. When you are starting it out, when you are starting to learn it, you felt awkward, you felt out of the depth. But over the time, the more practice you do, you will learn it and you will become master of it. And the more you practice it, you want to do it more and you will enjoy it more. Mastery in your career works in the same way. It doesn't matter if you are trying something new or if you are actually trying to improve in the current one. When you dedicate yourself some time to learning and improving of those skills, the self-satisfaction when you're really doing good is unparalleled. Even the most exciting job in the world feels frustrated if you don't have skills for it. It's important to choose your skill. It's important to choose what you want to learn. At the same time, it's important to commit yourself to it so you can learn more and you can master the skill, so you will enjoy when you are doing it. This is why it's so important to not only choose what you really want to do, it's also important to commit yourself to learn the skill. Mastery takes time, effort, and maybe lots of setbacks. But when you dedicate yourself to learning and improving, the amount of happiness you get when you achieved it, when you are doing good at it, is immeasurable. Has anyone tried learning a new skill? It can be musical instrument or some new sports or anything. How did you feel when you were learning that? Is it really easy, or do you really feel confident when you started? Some people really gets confident when they started. If you are one of the person, that's all good, but most of the times you don't feel confident when you're starting out. You feel awkward, you feel frustrated because you're not getting what you really want. But to get what you really want, you have to practice more and more and more, and you have to dedicate your time to it. It's the same when you're choosing a career you love. When you're starting it out, you may not feel confident, you may not feel happy, you might be questioning yourself, why did I do this, why am I doing this? But when you are doing more and more and more, you will feel really happy if that's something which is aligning with your values, with and also it's something you really enjoy doing even when no one pays you. If you are making that as your career, I think that's the sweet spot. You will actually love it when you are doing more and more and more. So what's something you always wanted to get better? What's something you always wanted to learn? Write down what skills you have, what's something you really enjoy, what skills you really want to learn. Make it as your career. Write down in the comments. I really want to know. Finding a career you genuinely love is not an overnight process. It requires self-discovery, aligning with your values, exploring new possibilities, experimentation, and also building the skills and becoming master of it. It's a long journey, but it's one worth taking. As so move forward, be open to new things, be open to new experiments, try to do new things as much as you can. The world is full of possibilities. There is a path that's waiting for you, so I think you better run. So I challenge you today to take the first step and discover the career you really love. Whether it's taking classes, reflecting on your values, exploring new possibilities, just start now. Start doing it now. I think you will find a career you really love in few months or few years. There is something waiting for you. You just have to go and find it. That won't come to your door and knock. You have to go and discover it, because a career that you love isn't just a dream. That's something you can create yourself. If you really like this video, I really recommend you to watch the last video I made. how to break free from the ordinary. This is made on a book, The Code of the Extraordinary Mind, written by Vishen Lakiani. I think you will really enjoy it. There are so many points in that book that really like makes you think what you're doing in your life. So watch that video. If you have time, read the book. And also, if you like this video, you know the drill. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel. I will come back soon.